Guten Abend, my dear friends. It's a great joy for me to be with you here this evening for such a short while that we have to celebrate together. And I've so much enjoyed the last couple of days. I've been very much impressed by particularly the young people who have been in our groups. I have a feeling that the world is in very safe hands. If it is anything to go by, those young people in the last few days, we are in good hands. I call you friends because people can call each other friends when they will tell each other what is in their heart. And I want tonight to tell you what is in my heart. I feel very hopeful for the future of our world. But at the same time, I feel that we have very strong challenges and we have a long way to go and we have to work quickly. We were discussing in our group a European consciousness. I was very conscious of the fact that in the last few weeks the world has been brought into all of our homes, and we have seen scenes which has hurt our hearts deeply. We've seen the exodus of the Kosovo Albanian people and their suffering. We've seen the NATO bombings, and we've seen now the tragedy of the Serbian refugees. And there is, when we witness those things in our own living room, not only an individual, but an almost collective dark night of the soul, because we wonder what is happening and becoming of our world. You see, we have gone beyond a European consciousness. We are now in a world consciousness. And this is from where we get our hope. Because 30, 40 years ago, we did not know the names of places far away from us. And we didn't really think that their problems were our problems. Today, through the television, we know where our brothers and sisters are suffering. And we do care. People do care for each other. And herein lies the hope. But we are also very conscious of another thing. We are conscious that while we have a world consciousness, that somehow our institutions and organizations no longer meet the needs of the reality of the world we now find ourselves in. And so, in a sense, we are lost. The old ways no longer fit the new needs, and we are a little bit lost. But you know, as Thomas Merton says, Lord, I don't know where I'm going, but that's all right. Someone's there to help us. It's all right in the sense that we know we're not sure of where we're going. So let's take time together to reflect on the way forward. Let's not rush in to use the old ways that no longer work. Let's have the humility to say, we're not sure where we're going, but we're the world community, and we'll pull together, and together we will find our way. But we must be very dedicated in saying the old ways do not work. You see, in what we're now facing around our world, deep ethnic, political problems, they will not be solved through militarism or paramilitarism. Look to Northern Ireland, where even today, Tony Blair and Bertie Ahern are in Belfast, sitting people down saying, let's have a plan to solve the problem. We're going to have to keep doing that, and keep doing that, because peace takes time. We must have patience. But what we say without any doubt whatsoever is that militarism, war, violence are no longer useful to us. So we need to demilitarize. We need actually to go further than that. I believe we need to teach tolerance. We need to learn languages. We need to celebrate the diversity of religions. We need all these things. But let us be honest. No matter how civilized we may think we are, when faced with situations where our ethnic identity is challenged, we are each murderous. We can kill each other. God help us. And that's why we need non-violence. So we need to think in a whole new way. We need to begin to look at how do we create non-violent societies, no-killing societies, where we decide in our mind life is sacred. It's a gift from God. You have no right to take my life. I have no right to take your life. Yes, we have problems, but we can sort these problems out by sitting down together and talking, but not by killing. This is not a utopian ideal. Gandhi said we use non-violence not because it works, but because it is right. We say that every human life is sacred because it is the truth. Men don't kill each other easily. We train them for a long time to kill, and then we leave them, God help them, to live with their conscience and their nightmares because they have taken life. We have got to change our thinking. 24 Nobel laureates started a campaign to get the UN to declare the new decade to be for the building of a culture of peace and non-violence for the children of the world. The UN have passed that resolution, so we all together can begin slowly, because we are dealing with fear here, slowly to build a new world of non-violence, and we really can do it together. And our focus is a simple focus. Irish champagne. Our focus is the children. I think we all love the children. We love our own children, and now we have to learn to love the children of the world. And so we ask the simple question, what is happening to the children? And when we see government policies that are destroying the children, we say, in a civilized world, we do not accept these policies. They must be changed. And so we look to Iraq, where children are dying because of UN-US sanctions, and we say, the children are dying, these policies must change. And we look to Kosovo, where the children and the refugees, and we say, we must help them. And we look to North Korea, where the children are hungry. And we look to China, where the children are hungry. And we focus in on the children, and we start feeding them and educating them in order to change our world. There must be no barriers in our world. I want to thank you for all you're doing. I take my inspiration from you, from President de Klerk and President Mandela. We watched with such joy at what you did in South Africa. From Oscar Arias in Costa Rica to say we want no army. You inspire us. In Ireland we want to move to no army too. Over a dozen countries have no armies, and they're feeding their people and educating them. This is what we want to do, and we can do it. But just one practical thing. I spoke yesterday to a man from Belgrade, and he told me that after the bombing that the winter is coming on and that there will be cold in Belgrade because the electricity is not working. I will think of the children of Belgrade over Christmas who, because of me, because I'm from the West, have no electricity and will be cold. Maybe some of us could go to Belgrade and do something for the little children so that they're not cold, and out to our Russian children as well, so that they're not cold during the winter. It's our world, it's in our hands, but we must sacrifice ourselves as people who have too much and learn to live with less in order to feed a very hungry world. God bless you all.